Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
And I'm embarrassed. I am very embarrassed. But in the meantime, my name is Chris.
And we are here to talk about Ready to Love, Season 10, Reunion Part 1.
Whew. I am from Jersey City, New Jersey. So there's been many a times that I've gone back and forth from Philly and things like that. Even to where I live now, Philly is not far. Driving, I'm talking about driving distance, right? Philly. We not gonna show up on TV like this, family.
Yeah.
The women in Philly can't be like this. It's I refuse to believe it, Blair. I know you don't want to, but I'm going to advocate again. We gotta give season 11. We gotta go back to Philly. We gotta get a whole new batch of.
I just say let's just forget this ever happened.
No. We gotta go back to Philly. I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. You ready, Blair?
Yes.
Walk us through this, please.
Yes. So we're talking to Cam. And we're talking about the Angie situation.
Yeah.
And he just wants someone who takes responsibility, shows improvement. And he said, I couldn't choose you today. And that was his breakup speech with Angie. That was the never before seen footage.
Yeah.
Now we get to Eddie, Hussein, Cam, and Angie on stage. She said the last time that she busted a window out was maybe 5 years ago. She makes a joke it was a house, not a car. And the bigger question is, what did the guy do? So most of the guys are going to believe that she grew from that, except for Cam. And for him, it's more so of the fact that she's not taking ownership and like discussing how she's grown from it.
Yeah.
And just like you're not really saying like you wouldn't do that again. But Angie feels like these men just want a yes woman.
Okay.
And Cam just wants to hear exactly like what he wants to hear from her, and she didn't say it exactly the way he wanted her to, and that's why Cam has an issue. But Tommy asked, does she know what she needs to work on? And she says maybe on being softer. But Eddie likes her strength. Hussein feels like she was soft during the dates. But Angie, we learned, has talked to some of the guys, after taping, and apparently Khalil shot his shot and scored. I don't quite know what that means, because in the back Khalil is talking about he doesn't know what she's talking about, essentially. Any thoughts?
Oh, okay. Let's start from the top. Let me share with you my allegiance first, right? So I am not a fan of Cam. Cam is not one of my favorite people on the show, mainly because I felt like he was feeling himself when it came down to having 3 women on this line, to where he knew which women he liked. At most, he knew who he didn't like. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not defending Cam, but there is something to, hey, you told me that you bust out the windows to a car before, right? Do I think Cam handled it in the best way? I feel like there could have been room for improvement, because it's not like she did it yesterday. But at the same time, 5 years ago is too soon for me. I'm sorry, Blair.
Yeah.
It's too, because if you're 39 or however old you are, 40, however old you are, so you're telling me anytime in your 30s you bust a window out of the car? I thought we was talking about undergrad and college. I give you a pass until 21.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But we're talking about you bust windows out of a car at 30 something years old and things of that nature. Nobody ain't got time to be paying deductible after deductible for our premium to go up next year because I called a claim, you get what I'm saying, to basically fix my car because you're angry. Now, can I look at the other side of the coin and say, well, what did the guy do? Because if the guy's not acting right, then guess what? I'm not going to put the whole thing on the woman to basically be like, well, if he was acting right, then I wouldn't bust the windows out the car. You may have a point there. But my whole point is, hold on. What if when you get mad, no matter if it's at level 1 or level 10, you get to vandalizing stuff?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, we got to look at things on the others. We got to look on it on the other side of things. What if you was to meet somebody? I know this is a little extreme, but what if you was to meet somebody that was to say, hey, we're dating and it's getting serious, so I want to be honest with you. Back in the day, I committed DV. You get what I'm saying? Eventually, you will be like, okay, you want to hear some accountability of the possibility of that not happening to you.
Right.
In some fashion. Some people would just be like, no. You get what I'm saying? And I'm like, if Cam is the type of person to where, hey, I feel like you're going to match energy or you're going to do stuff whenever you're angry, then I don't want to deal with you. I got to be like, that's fair of Cam, even though I'm not a fan of him, to feel that way. What is your thoughts, Blair?
Yeah. I want to start by saying that I think Angie is a very beautiful woman.
Okay.
I think that for some guys, she may fit their standard of beauty.
Okay.
And when it comes to desirability, and I think that for some men, they can choose to overlook some toxic traits or toxic history.
That's fair.
Because they think the woman is attractive. And I think that in Angie's case, that this is the case. I think that because, you know, she does look the way that she looks, I think that she does have a fun personality majority of the time, that that's something I can deal with, or she's not really gonna hurt me. You know what I'm saying? And it's really a thing of, well, that's just in her past, I'll just brush it off. But I think the thing to consider is that I'm along the same lines as Cam when it comes to the fact of the way you speak about that matters. If you're laughing and joking and talking about, oh, was it a house? Was it a car? Y'all need to be worried about what he did. It doesn't convince me that you've actually grown. That's not very convincing. You know, we can say, oh, yeah, I mean, of course, it's in your past. Sure. You said it's in your past. It's in your past. But the way that you talk about it, like, I would like you said in your example, if there was a DV situation, I would like to hear remorse. I don't want to hear did I hit her in the nose, the stomach? I don't know.
What did she do?
What did she do?
You didn't ask what did she did that caused me to go outside her head.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody want to hear that.
And I know it's apples to oranges.
Of course.
But it is in the same sense of, if it's something that you really don't stand by and that you know that you shouldn't have been doing, then I need to hear less laughing when we're talking about it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And I want to just, Blair, you did an excellent job on explaining yourself, and I'm not here to correct anything that you just said, but I just want to rip the Band-Aid off just a little bit.
Let's hear it.
Because Angie is light-skinned, she's not called aggressive, she called spicy. Dude, you get what I'm saying? Compared to Sahara, right? With reality, Sahara and Angie is basically two sides of the same coin.
And Sahara might be more chill, if I'm being
whole
honest.
time though. So that's all I'm saying. Yeah.
So we get backstage and Rose is talking to Hussein.
Oh my gosh.
She's pissed because they were supposed to walk out on this stage as a couple. She's very emotional. She's talking to Tay, saying that she had two men who she cared for and they effed her over. And Tay tells her, but you know what that means? You got to turn savage on them. So just say what you got to say. What is happening? What is going on?
In this moment, before we get to Rose, based on what Tay said, we not even at part 2 yet. Is she still with Cisco?
I don't think she is.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I would think that people in relationships would kind of be like, you know, or even just hear Rose talk just on the surface. Them guys didn't do nothing to you personally. They just stopped you from basically continue on with the show, but they did not do anything. They sitting down in the back. Hussein is like, what's wrong with you? Basically. And she's like, you messed up our fairy tale ending.
This could have been our moment.
This could have been us. Like, we were supposed to walk in. This is what she said. She said, we should have walked in together hand in hand. Oh, you're crazy. Yeah. Like,
no, it wouldn't have happened because of what happened.
Exactly.
Like, what are we talking about?
So that lets me know that you kind of see things from your perspective, and the perspective where there's no accountability, right? Which leads me to believe I can't even believe what really you say about the relationship that you have or don't have with your baby father that's in prison, because to you may say something like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. But whole time in Rose world, things are kind of like not true. Things are like skewed in a way to where things on tilt. And then you got Tay over here. Watch out for people who put batteries in your back that you embarrass yourself. Is
Tay not doing all that?
Tay ain't coming on. Listen here, Tay not gonna come on there and let's say Cisco and them are not together. Based on the previews that I seen previews where Rose is walking around crying and basically laying on everybody's shoulder. I seen previews where Rose hair is fizzled out. I see previews where Rose don't look all spiritual and all calm and things like that. She looked like a storm.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? That's rolling through the Ready to Love reunion set. So that's why I'm like, Rose, you about to embarrass yourself.
So we get to Hussein's journey.
Yeah.
We've got Rose, Hussein, Angie, and Cam on the stage. And Rose is feeling some tension.
Yes,
Hussein says there is no tension.
Well, okay.
It was just about not knowing the truth, and there just wasn't enough time, pretty much to process the information.
Yeah.
Rose said that she put her son's father in the back of her mind. She wasn't hiding anything from anyone, and she felt Hussein owed her more than what he gave her, like a conversation, like something.
Is the back of your mind still in your mind?
I guess my question is, didn't Hussein sit down and have a one-on-one conversation with her after they had their family meeting?
That's why I'm like, she's not taking no accountability in anything.
Well, Tommy tells her, look, he was blindsided because he didn't hear it prior to the family meeting. But Rose says, it just wasn't talked about. Like, he didn't ask about it. Hussein says the conversation was out there when Kiara brought up her situation, but Rose feels like Kiara's situation isn't her situation. And no one asked her about her child's father.
Yeah.
Cam didn't really care that he was in jail. It just would have been nice to know that information. Rose thinks that this is a speed dating process. You're not going to know everything about me. She feels played, and it was all about Hussein. She was holding him down, but he robbed her of her happy ending. It's sounding very delusional. We're in like the Rose's delusional world right now.
Straight up crazy.
Tommy says that the bump in the road happened at the table. He was with you prior to the whole time. Hussein said, well, you knew it was a bomb because you looked at me and said, we'll talk about it later. And really, you can't tell me what I need to do in my process. So Rose said that Hussein was incarcerated himself. Hussein said that's not what happened.
He said, no, I wasn't.
There was a situation in college, but he never did any jail time. And he shared that with Rose. Now she's throwing it in his face. She said, so you didn't get booked? And he said, no. So Hussein, we know, left the show. He just didn't feel like his connection with Angie was on that level. He didn't want to force things. But Angie did think that they had built something, and he just took the easy way out.
Take me back to the top of this, right? So Rose come out there, and she's basically talking about this whole idea of, I'm trying to remove the person, because the more I see Rose on my screen, the more I'm finding myself, it's hard for me to be fair with her. Like because if you're on tilt like this, I don't deal with people like that, especially if you're lying. You know what I'm saying? So let me try to take any type of let me try to be objective as possible. If you are in a relationship with me and it is getting deeper, because Hussein is the one that said, like, I felt like we was, growing deeper connections and things of that nature, right? And I have a child. I would think that the conversation of the baby father would come up in some way. Of maybe he will want to know, because if I have interest in you, Blair, and you have a child, and I want to know what's going on with the baby father, that lets me know what part I need to play and things of that nature. So I do find it kind of strange that, okay, if none of the guys asked about the baby father, that is kind of like, okay, that's
like, how serious were you taking the process?
How serious are you taking the process? She did say this is speed dating. I didn't get a chance to really talk about. I said that's no excuse. Now, when we talk about Kay, when she talked about where her baby daddy or ex-boyfriend, whoever it is that's in jail and things like that, were her, right? I agree with Hussein. Hussein was like, that was the opportunity right there for you, not in the moment in front of everybody, but to be like, hey, by the way, I do got a baby father in jail. Here's my problem with Rose, right? As we just seen her basically lie on Hussein off of information that he told her. This ain't no information that she did her Googles about. He told her something in private, like, yeah, something happened in college. I probably had to go down to the jail, but I ain't get booked. I ain't get arrested, nothing like that. And now she's trying to make it seem like this is that, and it's neither. My problem with Rose is I don't believe her. When it comes down to the whole thing of my baby daddy's in the back of my mind and that got nothing to do with me, I don't believe that, right? Because her son is not 34, her son is not 24, her son is 17 based on if I remember correctly, right? So my thing is, now I got to look at you weird. So you are allowing your baby father to have some type of connection or relationship or whatever it is with your 17-year-old son, and you not going to check in or have nothing to do with that? That doesn't sound right to me, right? So I think Rose is playing these cards in her head and building these scenarios and fantasies in her head. I'm not saying that she may be keen on the phone with the baby daddy, but I don't think it's as simplistic as, oh, I don't know what he's doing. He's in jail. That's in the back of my mind. No.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like that at all.
Yeah. like, where do I want to start about it?
Yeah.
Like, Rose is really stuck on the fact that, like, he took this opportunity away from her.
Yeah.
And I think that when it comes to the situation, okay, I agree with you in the sense that if we're really trying to get to know each other, and if we want to compare situations or experiences, when you met Angie's baby father, why didn't you start asking your other connections who had kids about their baby fathers?
That's fair.
I mean, if that was something that came up during the process, why would that not spark in your mind to ask that question and see how that connection was? So I think it's fair for Rose to have that concern. Also, the fact that, look, I was riding hard for you. I felt like if you liked me as much as you claimed you did, then you would have given me a little more grace.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that that would have been fair to want, but I also feel like you guys are not in a relationship.
Yeah.
And you should not be riding this hard for somebody that you're not in a relationship with. I think that if you enjoy this person and you guys are getting along well and the dates are going good, that's a great thing. But if something, a situation, a circumstance happens that makes it so you guys are not on that path anymore, then you guys are no longer on that path. It's not a thing of somebody lying to you or tricking you out of the situation. It's of the situation that what happened at the table, you know. But I do think that with Hussein, I don't think he was very serious about this experience. I honestly don't think Cam was that serious about this experience. And I think that Rose probably put too much into these men's hands as far as what could be from this, to where she really created, you know, a thought in her mind that she could probably have a long lasting relationship, which would, you know, be something that you would want, especially on a show called Ready to Love. Yeah. But if you do look at the trajectory of Ready to Love, it's not that many successful couples that last. Yeah. So I think, like, you know, we have to be realistic in our expectations as well. For her to be holding it against Hussein that he ruined her experience is just not fair. It's just not fair.
And just to comment on what you said about the grace part. Yeah. It's easy to give grace to somebody when they say sorry. Yeah. I haven't heard Rose take any accountability in withholding that information. There's a difference between, let's say you cheated, right? There's a difference between you telling me in private that you made a mistake and that you cheated, and you telling me at the family reunion in front of my cousins. Yeah. Like that information came out while he was sitting down with his family. You get what I'm saying? So he didn't even have he couldn't even brace himself for the information. And
I also feel like when you're dating and trying to get to know people, you can't tell people what their non-negotiables are. Yeah. So I think with Rose, if he doesn't want to be with the woman whose baby's father is in jail, that is up to him. Like, I know he's not at the top of your mind. It's not something you think about. The child and the father have their own relationship, but that is something that somebody might not want to deal with. Somebody might not deal with somebody who has a child, period. So I just think that you kind of have to just take it on the chin that this just isn't your person. They're not willing to take you for all that you are, as much as she was trying to bend herself into pretzels to get somebody to choose her. Like, she should have, you know, I'm not going to say she should have done anything differently, because I felt like she moved gracefully and well during the process. But if there was more to you that could have been told or could have been shown, because we didn't see this side of Rose, and it just seems like, you know, there may have been some things that she might have been I'm not going to say hiding, but she wanted to present her best self, which we all do. But I feel like if somebody doesn't want to take you for all that you are and all that comes with you, that's not your person. And I wish that she wouldn't be so angry about it. You know, that person's not for you, you know?
The bottom line is, this is the real you, Rose. And sometimes situations like this expose you, and guess what? It put the light on you, and now we see, for when you don't get your way and things like that, you go on tilt. You get what I'm saying? You are back out of hell, basically. And guess what? You need to control yourself, basically.
So they bring out True.
Oh boy, well, I don't even know why True is there, to be honest.
And she says that, okay, they're asking her about this Google number, but she says that I ain't even had her number. Khalil said that she didn't say her age until she felt like she had to. She tells him, I told you in the basement. Clearly, we just saw the clip. You did not tell him in the basement.
No, you did not.
So everybody's calling her a liar. She asked, well, why didn't you like answer the question, basically? And she says, well, he was trying to see if I was of childbearing age to get that information. And Khalil was like, yes, like I had to choose someone whose timeline made sense with what I wanted in a partner. Yeah. Now, in their confessionals, True says that there was a lot of lies and manipulation. It wasn't coming from her. And Khalil calls True a fraud and a liar.
Do you have anything to add to this? Because like this is just crazy.
I mean, this is absolutely crazy. Like True, like I don't even want to talk to her, to be honest. I don't want to talk to her or about her because she doesn't live in reality.
No,
you know, we watched the whole clip of her being coy, but she says that she revealed the information. And the thing is, like, Khalil absolutely, if he is dating and wanting to have children, should find out if a woman is of childbearing age.
Just say your age, okay? like that's
like
it.
He was trying to find that out to figure out. Yes.
Listen here.
Yes.
A year ago, when we first started this season and things of that nature, I told y'all this: don't trust nobody who get their eyebrows done and they do nothing with their hands. And now I'm proven right. She got her eyebrows done, but she did not get her nails done. I already didn't trust her off that alone. Yeah. And now we finding out that she lives in a different reality. Yeah. So far, the Philly women are down bad. Yeah. And I'm like, give Philly a redo, man. Season 11 back in Philly. That's what it should be called. Ready to Love season 11 back in Philly.
I don't want to be back.
Okay.
So they play a game of Who Said It. I ain't gonna talk about it. I think it was just a way to break up the show, give Tommy something light to talk about.
Yeah, because Tommy just want to play games.
He just want to play games. Yeah. And they needed to extend it for us to have a part 2. This really, I feel like, could have been a part 1.
Whole time.
So we get to Fritz's journey. He talks about how he's not into the poly lifestyle. Sahara felt like, you know, she was getting these copy and paste messages, and he said that he would get better, but he never did. Fritz makes it clear that honestly, he was just here to have fun. He was not taking the process seriously. Wow. Fritz said that the guys voted Sahara organically. He was just out here saying her name, and it really wasn't that deep. So it's not that deep to Fritz because he's playing around. Yeah. But Sahara actually wants to be here and find a connection. So you throwing dirt on her name is that deep.
It is that deep. And that's why Cam was within his rights to be like, he got to go. Yeah. And guess what? I'm not hating on that.
And Cam defended Sahara because that was his connection. Now, Chenise is all big, bad, bold in the chest. And she's telling Cam that he's fake. You weren't saying Sahara was your top when we were texting. You're playing games. And Cam asked her to apparently go on vacation with her to be his boy toy. He said it as a joke in text, and Chenise said that she didn't hear a LOL or didn't see one. So Fritz has been connecting with Chenise. They're getting to know each other, and he says that's his woman. So essentially, she was just getting buck off of Cam because she's down bad for Fritz, is how it looked. Because it didn't even make any sense while you were going that hard. Like, you really weren't part of the conversation, if we're being for real.
I looked at Blair, and I was like, what the hell just happened here? Yeah. For one, Chenise, the woman who got naked on national television doing a body painting thing and things of that nature, I'm sure they told you can wear shorts, bikini, something. But you wasn't in the men vault. So you wasn't part of the conversation. Yeah. So for you to try to come in and basically, you already had your lines prepared, and this was the only moment that you was going to really have a moment to talk and basically say, Cam, you're fake. You know what, Chenise? You wasn't even part of part 2 of this show to where we came back in 2025. You wasn't needed for this segment, and truth be told, Fritz wasn't needed for this segment either.
And the thing is, she's not wrong. I think Cam was fake in certain ways.
Of course.
But we didn't need to hear it from you. Exactly. If I'm being honest. Like, you not really. Yeah. So Cam asks, who does he ask? So Cam and Sahara talking. Okay. And so he's trying to explain basically what Chenise was saying to Sahara so she could get a better understanding of what Chenise was mad about. So apparently when he was texting Chenise, that was before he went on this date with Sahara to where she became his top. So that's why he didn't tell Chenise that Sahara was his top at that time. And Angie runs over talking about keep my name out your mouth. When you talk about me, make sure you have facts. So now they're walking behind Angie and asking her, can you like sit and have a conversation? Because what are you even talking about?
Yeah.
Who is even feeding you information? Like, why? Like, somebody's trying to clearly stir up drama, and here you go doing the most. So Cam actually gets to talk to Angie, and apparently Rose told her that he basically was telling her. He was telling Rose about Angie's personal life, about how she was aggressive with her ex, and that's why he really didn't want to be with her.
Okay.
But Cam tells her, I never talked down about you. I never called you aggressive. He tries to ask her who's feeding her information, and she doesn't want to say who. But he's letting her know, be careful where you get your information from, because people have their own vendettas, and they're trying to push their own narratives, which is not true. And she agrees.
And this is why Cam wanted to know, how long ago did you bust somebody's window out? Because if you can go off of information that is hearsay, I don't know if it's hearsay or not, but the whole point is, as an adult, you're supposed to approach the conversation of, Rose told me that you was talking about my personal life, my past transgressions and things of that nature. I want to know, did you do that? No, you jumped off the ledge.
Yeah.
And you know who do that? Children.
Yeah.
Every now and then, that's why you gotta grab your child and be like, no, come back. So guess what? Cam made the right decision to be apprehensive when it comes to you, because and this is the thing that I don't understand. For someone who is dependent on, or basically depended on by her whole family, I would think that, hey, you can't be the one that crash out and basically mess up your life, because so many people's lives is attached to you. But you just see tunnel vision, and in that moment, it was all about F Cam. And then Sahara was like, you're not even gonna give the guy a chance to lie to you? Like, you gotta get the information from him and match the stories.
Right.
And in the moment, I'm not saying Rose is lying or telling the truth. All I'm saying is there's evidence already in part one that Rose be lying.
Yeah.
So, and now Angie, it's kind of crazy how you go from cussing them out and basically being aggressive, right, to now y'all giving each other a hug at the end. Nah, I wouldn't want to be with you either.
So we get to Cam's journey. Sahara and Cam tried to work on their relationship after filming, but she never got calls from him, just text messages. But Cam says, I was trying to hit her up to try to see her, and then she blocked me. And Sahara, yes, I did block him.
Okay.
But he was only sending good morning text. She didn't feel like he was really putting in real effort. And the thing is, I can believe that. I can.
I don't. Here's what I don't believe. I don't believe that. I believe Cam was definitely trying to reach out and things like that after the show, trying to reconnect, which I don't really understand why he would, but you know what, to each his own, right? I do not believe that someone who was on the show talk about suck it and all this stuff as Sahara was, basically I choose myself, me and you is not going to be together, things like that, was really open to hear Cam's suggestions or to be fully invested in a potential recoupling and things like that.
That's fair as well.
So that's why I'm like, I think there were times probably Cam was trying to link up and things like that. He probably did send her good morning and things like that, and she said good morning, and then she probably left him on red. But at the same time, y'all shouldn't have been talking to each other in the first place, because where's your self-respect, Cam, where she basically told you she choose herself? So why are you trying to double back? Now you're trying to choose her throughout the whole process. You had 3 women, and now you're trying to choose Sahara now after the process?
Well, it looks like he's keeping his multiple women.
Well, no, for facts.
Yeah.
So that's why. And then when Sahara over here talking about he haven't reached out to me, he haven't done anything like that, and then it comes out that you blocked him. It's like, yo, when is the women of Philly gonna get a win this episode? Oh, y'all down bad.
Yeah, it was sad to watch.
Let's keep going.
Sahara talks about how she might be willing to give it another try, but Rose tells her to be careful because he's into polygamy.
Okay.
Which we learn is not necessarily true.
Okay.
So the real story is that he had an issue with cheating in the past, and she said that he wanted to bring another woman into the bedroom. He says that he had a history with cheating and he didn't want to do it again, but if he had the urge, he wouldn't want to do it behind the woman's back.
Okay.
Now, the stories seem close enough to me to where you want to bring a woman into the bedroom, you want to be upfront about your urges for another woman. It sounds like you want an open relationship, but it sounds like he didn't want to say them words.
But he's saying it's not polygamy.
Yes. So Rose said apparently she saw some empty condom wrappers in his house and it wasn't theirs. He said he wasn't talking to anyone else, and he played in her face, and she is asking him if he's expecting.
He says, no, I'm not expecting.
Oh, I don't think he answered. They left us on a cliffhanger.
Here's the thing about it, right? Based on what he said, or based on his reaction, he was like, expecting. No, I'm not expecting. But I answered for Cam. Mm-hmm. In this moment, while Rose is trying to expose him, she exposed herself.
Yeah, because why are you over here? You're grown. All right. You can do whatever you want with your body. That's absolutely fine.
Facts.
But ma'am, you're not in a relationship with this man.
No.
Y'all, like he was telling you he wasn't talking to anybody else. Y'all aren't committed to each other. No. Come on now. Let's live in reality. If this man that you're not, in a relationship with, and you're over here just kind of messing around, you really expect him not to be messing around with anybody else, even if he's lying to you. He should not be lying to you. That's absolutely true. But he also has not made a commitment to you.
Yeah.
So I think that Rose, although yes, Cam played her, so to speak, I think she played herself more than anything. I'm about to say, and I think that's why she's mad. Yep. Because she didn't stick to whatever maybe her values were, or I don't know. She
have none.
I'm just like, what did you expect from him?
She have none. She have no values. Everything that Rose has said out her mouth has been a lie. She said she wanted a guy that was that's a Christian, that go to church and things like that.
She was throwing that out the window.
She's just throwing that out the window 100%, right? And I'm not here to judge her. I'm just here to basically call truth and call lies lies. Rose, you're a liar. Right? At the end of the day, right, you're over here talking about this connection that you have with Hussein and trying to put the accountability on Hussein of why we didn't walk in hand and things like that. Whole time after the show, you sleeping with Cam. And
you didn't even have to tell us that, to be honest.
You didn't have to tell us that.
Yeah.
And whole time, let me get at Angie too. Angie over here talking about thank you, basically as if she dodged a bullet. Angie, don't forget, literally a segment ago, you was yelling at a man off a hearsay. So don't try to make it seem like you dodged the bullet. We all dodged the bullet dealing with Angie. You get what I'm saying? Because you bust out windows less than 10 years ago, 5 years ago, in your 30s. You hear hearsay and jump off the ledge with that. That's somebody who I don't want to invest with. You get what I'm saying? So that's why at the end of the day, I'm looking at Philly and I'm just like, so far, here's the funny thing. In the season, I was looking at, there's really no good guys on this show.
Exactly.
Because it's like Cisco is not cool. Cam think he's all that. Fritz is into polygamy.
I was like, why don't nobody like Khalil?
And then that's when you got Naeem over here, who basically got 10 kids and things of that nature. Now we're finding out that the women in Philly, at least these women here, man, all of y'all are on tilt. It's craziness. Is there anything else you want to add?
That's all I got.
I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment. Let us know, definitely with this episode. Let us know in the comments below what y'all thought about Ready to Love Reunion Part 1. And do you agree? Should we give Philly a redo? Blair said, leave me out of Philly. I don't want to go back to Philly. I think we need to go back to Philly because this is ridiculous. We see y'all next time.
Bye.